What's up, everybody? Red Cloud Gamer here. Joining me, as always, the one, the only, the green Sween. What's up, Sween?
Nothing much, man. Just enjoying some late night pizza doing the podcast. What about you?
I already had some pizza, so I'm not eating this late. That's only you tonight. But I am enjoying bringing up, episode 13 of our NSX podcast we can record right now?
Big number 13.
You can't just call every one big number something. Like 10.
Right,
10 was good. All right, when we get to 20, you can bust out big number again. But 13 is just 13. I mean, it's old enough to start dating, that's all.
Now, aren't we at 13.5, considering the fact our little half a game award segment?
All right, so by my age requirements for my teenage years, I guess it's old enough to do a little more than date.
Wow.
13.5.
Second base.
Yeah, exactly what I meant.
Oh my god.
Well, we didn't do one last week. I know we both were kind of busy, and we had the State of Play and, of course, the Pokemon Direct, so we really failed there. We should have had one done.
Well, I mean, last podcast we talked about that I was getting ready to move into a new place, which did go very successful. This is actually our first podcast from my new setup, which is just amazing.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I think you sent me a picture of your new setup. Yeah. So we'll bring it up with the big Snorlax curtains. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised you don't have one of those giant Snorlax bean bags to sleep on, you know?
Yeah, don't be surprised when April comes around. I think that's going to be coming my way. But
and this picture gets a little bit wider. There's a Snorlax thing over there. All right.
You could see I got the Snorlax coffee mug with Eevee in it. And
right, that's the big one that you showed me.
Yeah, and then I got the Switch case.
Yeah, that's the one you did that review on, right?
Yeah, and I know it's a little tough to see, but you got Charmander and Pikachu on the right running on the lily pads, and Squirtle and Bulbasaur on the left on the curtains. Then you got a big Snorlax. I love those curtains, man.
What's that little Snorlax thing on the desk in front of Snorlax?
That's just a Snorlax action figure in the box. Yeah. Then you got you can see I got some Mario stickers down there on the desk. They're just the removable ones. I got all my collectibles next to the desk. I didn't show you that, but I do got my collectible wooden shelf that I showed you before sitting next to that. So, but yeah, you could see, new house. We had to get a nice new setup, a nice new desk. I was using this small little white desk that fit my laptop and my microphone, and that was it. Basically, what you're looking at to the left on the desk is what I had for room. So to include, the whole L shape and bring the curtains in. I got the curtains today, actually, and to bring all this to life, I really, really love what I did so far.
Yeah, you should grab some of those, what do you call them, like the poster frames, so you can put those Mario posters you got up on the wall.
Oh, I already got the frames. They're going on the wall very, very soon. I just have to get a couple more nails and everything like that, but
yeah, we'll have to get that one updated. I'm definitely liking the look of this.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
All right, let's get something up and going. Why don't you kick it off with whatever you've been playing this week, huh?
It's been an interesting lineup. I really haven't been on my Switch too much. I mean, let's face it, the Switch is in a little bit of a dry spell. 3D World and Bowser's Fury was fun. I'm still planning on doing some Pokemon long plays for Let's Go and Pokemon Shield. It's just been very busy with getting things for the house and tedious. But as of now, I've been playing some more mild games like Rocket League, just picking up a couple games here and there. I did do Tetris 99. They did have the 20th Maximum Cup where they give you the backgrounds. They did Bowser's Fury.
Oh, that's cool.
And you get some heavy metal music playing while you're playing Tetris, which why not, right? But the big one I've been playing, and we've been talking about it on the week, and I kind of inspired you to get a little bit on it, was I've been playing Pokemon Blue on an emulator.
Yeah. I ended up, you went with Blue, so I went with the Fire Red remake.
Yeah, I wanted to go in order. I wanted to make it like a specific thing, but I set the goal that I wanted to
beat all 8.
I want to beat all 8 Pokemon games because I told you I missed out on Black and White, X and Y, and Sun and Moon, and obviously Black 2 and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
So you pretty much skipped 4 generations of Pokemon.
3, but including the additions, I guess you could say 4 or 5, but technically 3 generations. And but I want to do it in order. I want to really go game to game and see how I feel, because it's been a while since I played Pokemon Blue, and as much as I remember loving it, I really don't remember specific game details. I remember we were talking
trying to find surf.
Yeah, and I actually found it, by the way, in the Safari Zone. I don't know how I didn't remember that, but you have to like take a certain path in Safari Zone.
There's like a hut. There's a hut in
Yes.
Safari Zone. You find something else outside, right?
Yeah, with statues. There's like 4 statues outside of the hut. There's different huts, but you have to find the one with 4 statues. And then I ended up getting fly today too, so I'm in good shape.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm gonna end up beating it tomorrow at work. So we'll get through blue. We'll do silver. I think I'm just gonna again do regular Pokemon silver. I wanted to do Soul Silver, but I think if I want to do that, I'll end up doing Fire or Leaf Green, Soul Silver, and Omega Ruby right before the remakes. I think that would be a little more interesting to do it right before we get the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah, all right.
So, but yeah, I just kind of want to I want to do a little, rundown video. I've been really thinking about I want to do some more Pokemon focused videos on my channel, just some long plays of some shiny hunts and, and just kind of maybe even start transferring some of that footage onto our podcast in the future and bring like a new follow base to our podcast and maybe expand some of these, only Pokemon fans, expand their game knowledge a little bit, and it would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime you're getting more people involved in more stuff in gaming, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, me too. And, we all got to have our little expertise in something, just like, you are with Microsoft. And, I mean, I'm, big with my Nintendo, but I think Pokemon would be the game I dive even deeper into,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like one of the first games you ever really fell in love with, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really been it. Simple games, nothing crazy. We're just still waiting for Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch. We'll get some love back on there. Dude, I'll tell you, this is the first time I've had a break from my Switch between the apartment and just playing the Game Boy emulator on my phone. I haven't put my Switch down for a week in, probably since 2018 when I got one.
And I still remember handing you a Switch that first day at my kid's cheerleading practice, and you were just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it's the new Nintendo. And your face, when you heard new Nintendo and you started playing that racing game, Fast RMX, you were just like, whoa.
I was like, yo, this is what I wanted to buy when I bought a Wii U in 2015. This is what it was supposed to be when I saw it.
Looking around trying to figure out where the hell my Wii U was hidden. Did you hook it up in a van? Is that what's going on? No. This is it.
So that's really it for my games being played right now, though. Nothing fancy. I see you've been playing some Overcooked, which this is interesting because this was a game trial on Nintendo a couple weeks ago. My girl gave it a shot. She said she actually really liked it, enjoyed it.
Yeah, my kids have played this before. I have seen them play a time or two. I've never played it. It's either 1 or 2 is on Game Pass right now. But I was on the PlayStation sale. They have a good sale going right now. A lot of good stuff on there. And I saw this. It's Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition. Right now it's only on PS5 and Series X. I guess it is coming to the old gen systems sometime later this year. But it's just like a compilation of 1 and 2 and all of their DLC, plus I guess a little bit more content. And they, 4K, 60 frames, they look better, they run better. This room looks like ray traced reflections on the floor to me. And I mean, that's really cool, but I'm like, does this game need ray tracing, guys?
Why not, though?
No, I guess you're right. I mean, it's fun. I played with 3 of the kids, my 3 younger ones, and they had warned me that it's very rage inducing, and they weren't lying. They weren't lying at all.
Wow.
So you've never played, right? You said your missus had tried, but you hadn't.
I was a little busy playing Bowser's Fury at that time.
Well, you should give it a shot if you get a chance. It's pretty much just what you're seeing here. Up to 4 people running around a stage, and the stages as you get further in have different obstacles. And as a team, you have to make the orders that people want. And they pop up in the top left, and it tells you, on one stage you're making soup, and it's 3 tomatoes for a soup, 3 onions for a soup, 3 mushrooms for a soup. And it's typically, someone's on one side of the room has to give you materials, the fruits and veggies, and then you have to take them and cut them and put them in the pot and then put it on a plate, and then they have to take the plate and send it out. And you have a certain amount of time to do it. And the longer a streak you get of getting everything out on time, the better your score. So you can see, like, I'm blue here, and I'm, like, going up and grabbing all these onions. And I got to put them down here so the other two can grab them and cut them. Then they'll give them back to me, and I'll put them in the oven. And then I'll put it on a plate. They'll put it out. Someone will wash the plate, and we just keep doing the same thing. And you've got, 4 minutes or so until it's over.
Oh, wow.
It's fun. It definitely gets hectic. This stage is a little bit easier. This was us just starting the game. So as you get further in, they put you on stages where you got to do, like, burgers. And then it's like one burger might just be a bun and meat. And then one's a bun, meat, and tomato. And one's a bun, meat, tomato, and lettuce. And one's a bun and lettuce and tomato. And you got to make sure everything's right, or you get in trouble for putting out the wrong order. And then someone puts out the wrong order when it's not done, or they leave something cooking and it catches fire, and you got to grab the fire extinguisher. It's
right.
It's fun. You can see, like, they just grabbed a dirty plate. They're gonna go wash it. I don't remember which kid was which.
The later you get in this game, like, the maps really get pretty exotic and have some great designs.
And, and it brings in some really weird obstacles. I played one where, like, it kind of looked like this one but bigger, where it looked like it was going to be super simple. It was just an open floor plan, and then every 30 seconds there's an earthquake, and half of the stage raises up in the air, and you can't bring stuff from one half to the other.
That's insane.
And then we played one on a pirate ship where, like, part of the counter, like, slides and knocks you into one area. So, like, you go from, oh, I'm the one doing the cooking, to, like, oh, nope, I'm the one grabbing the stuff. It's pretty fun. We had a blast, and, then someone makes a mistake, and you want to choke them, but you got to remind yourself they're children. You can't do that. I mean, at least you can't tell people if you do that. But
that's how I feel with Fortnite when I'm, like, on one side of the map and he's just on the entire other side. I'm like, buddy, we just got to stick together and we got to win.
Dude, I went in and watched Ralphie play Fortnite earlier. Like, I just went in to check on him and stuff because he never comes out. He just plays video games all the time.
Smart kid.
Yeah, he sounds like me. But I went in and he's playing Fortnite. I told you I got him a gaming computer for Christmas. It's not the best in the world, but it's pretty solid. He's hitting Fortnite, 1080p, 150 frames a second easy. Having a good time. Dude, he's a monster. I go in there and I'm watching him play against people. Like, it's not even like he's playing bots or playing on easy or something. I watched him by himself with no teammates slaughter 15 people. And, like, it's like the camera's having a seizure as he's building these giant towers, just shaking his hand in different directions, clicking all these different keys. I swear he has more than 5 fingers on the one hand. Because it's just, it's doing stuff that, I don't know.
And that's how the Mrs. Kid will be sometimes, though, despite him, going around. Dude, he's 8 years old, and he'll have 8 kills, and I'll have 3, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, we're on the Switch, and I understand the competition isn't heavy, but my man will find teams and just take them out. I don't care, because you could say you're playing against 8-year-olds, but so is he. So he is, So I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, it's doing something to kids' brains to make them great at that and bad at school. I'm just saying.
It's all the violence in the Fortnite these days.
Oh, no. Now they're going to cancel Fortnite. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, right? That worked with GTA too, I think, right? Or no? No? Yeah, no, I didn't think so.
No. Meanwhile, I do see a lot of people, like,
generations.
I see a lot of people throwing a fit about, cancellations and all this stuff. I try to stay out of that political stuff. But, like, some of this, like the Dr. Seuss one, bro, it's not like a cancellation. No one went to the Dr. Seuss Corporation and said, you better stop printing these damn books. It was the Dr. Seuss Corporation reviewed their material and said, yo, you know what? There's some books that we started publishing mad long ago when it was more culturally acceptable to be, like, rude. And we shouldn't publish them anymore. So they just decided not to do it. It's not like there was a canceling. Just stop it.
Were they even still publishing the books? I don't know.
And anyone that thinks they're really going to be able to cancel Eminem, first off, you can't. Okay? Stop thinking it's possible. Second,
can't do it.
Second, what do you think you were going to accomplish if you did? He's still, like, the richest rapper in the world. He, like, hey, M, you're not allowed to make music anymore. Just go sit in your house with all your money and shit on a toilet made of gold.
Right.
Like, I don't think that you really thought that through. I do think there's certain situations where it's absolutely imperative that we don't allow, sensitive subjects to be discussed or mocked or whatever. But, like, you choose what you listen to in music. If you don't like what Eminem raps about, here's an idea. Don't listen to Eminem. Listen to someone else.
Wait a minute. Right? You mean to tell me I'm not forced to listen to some kind of music?
Absolutely.
What? I've been doing it all wrong. I thought I had to fit in with the social norm and the cliques and everything like that, eh?
Yeah, I've seen pictures of you from your childhood. You were not fitting in.
All right, podcast over. Yo, you have a good night. It's been a pleasure talking. No, I was not fitting in, bro, at all.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yo, hang on. What did you say that your AIM name was earlier?
Oh, here we go. SS4 Mike 503. I saw Goku
Super
go
Saiyan 4 Mike.
Listen, all I know, bro, is I saw Goku go Super Saiyan 4 in GT, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. I just saw that. I was like, yo, that's me. Like, I'm like sitting there pushing, trying so hard to have my chest turned into hair, like red hair, bro. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is Super Saiyan 4. I'm like, dude, you didn't even hit Super Saiyan 1. What are you you can't just make that leap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really overcooked. Cool. That's pretty much overcooked. I think we played through the whole set of like the first stages. It's kind of set up like Mario, like the early Marios, like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. Then you finish them and you go to 2. I think this video ends with us playing like 2-1 or 2-2. We played about an hour, had a good time. I look forward to playing it again with the kids at some point, and hopefully I don't kill them and they don't kill me. But I mean, they can try.
You know what I thought of instantly? It's funny you make that comparison. When I saw this game and you like went onto the map, I'm thinking like a nicer graphics, more about cooking Castle Crashers.
I never got into Castle Crashers, man. So many people told me that game was great.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Wow, that's a shocker for me.
It just came out at a time that I was completely hooked on Call of Duty, which still regularly happens to me. But lately, in hopes of making a better podcast and us having better conversations, I do try to branch out and play other things. But yeah, I have a habit of just diving into Call of Duty and not playing anything else at all. And it makes me miss out on a lot of games.
My buddy spent a 24-hour binge this weekend on COD, so I've been hearing nothing but positive feedback on this COD this generation.
I mean, I'm not going to give it nothing but positive. I do think that when it's working, it's my favorite COD. But wow. It's not always working. It's there's definitely a lot of crashes. I don't think I talked about this because I'm pretty sure it happened after our last podcast, but I played recently, my buddy Anthony, I hooked him up with my my PS4 Pro with a really sick deal after I got my PS5.
I remember.
And, we finally decided to play some Call of Duty together. He used to be like my big zombies partner, like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then he kind of stopped playing zombies for years. Now he's hooked on this new one. So we started playing together, and it was me, him, Sean, and my buddy Mike. So we were each on a different system. I was on my Series X, Sean on a Series S, Mike on a 1X, and Anthony on a PS4 Pro. First off, let me say, I love that. I love that we were all able to play a game together despite being on different systems, on different generations of systems. That's huge to me, to be able to play with my friends regardless. It's kind of a dream of mine since I was a kid. I've always hated the whole, we have different plastic boxes so we can't play games together. So the thing was, we were playing the new Outbreak mode. I was kind of talking about how excited I was for that the last time. It is kind of like a stopgap, like a half step between zombies and Battle Royale Warzone. Like you're spawned into a large map that looks ripped right off of the Warzone map with a bunch of buildings that you go pillage through and find different guns, points, different abilities, all sorts of stuff you can find. And there's randomly zombies. And then there's a couple things throughout the map that you can do to spawn zombies and get like a better reward. Like you can get like power-ups, pack-a-punched guns, stuff like that. And then you finish a wave, which is one difficulty, and you either exfil and end the game, or teleport to another section of the map, and the difficulty goes up. And as it goes up, obviously it gets harder, but you also get better rewards. It's really awesome. They added a lot. They added new levels to each weapon, each tier, or each weapon, each perk, each what do you call them? Field upgrades. They're like I don't know the last Call of Duty you played. We played Black Ops 4, right?
No.
Yeah, we did. I think that's the one that you kissed the cow for.
Huh?
That's the one you kissed the cow for, remember?
Oh, stop it. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, because I remember I got that dwarf guy on the online, like, the first week.
Yeah. Well, you remember how it had, like, throughout the match, you would be able to hit both bumpers, and then you'd be able to do, like, a certain super-powered thing. Like, they had, like, the gravity spikes that you slammed, and they just damaged everything around you. You could get, like, the big portable armor, stuff like that, and it, like, filled up as you killed people, so you might be able to use it once or twice a game. So that's what the field upgrades are in this. But as we were playing, my buddy Mike on a 1X, he crashed. His system just completely shut off. And the thing about Outbreak is it's not like regular zombies. If I turn on regular zombies right now and I play a private game and I get to round 30, I can invite you. You can just join in at round 30. You're good. On Outbreak, you cannot join in the middle of a game. So if you get kicked out, you're not coming back. And we're already 6 or 7 difficulties deep. We don't want to quit because you got kicked out. You know? So we figured, you know what, we'll just keep playing. We're probably going to die soon anyway, then we'll start another game. Not 5 minutes after he crashed on his 1X, I crashed on my Series X. I get back on, you know, I'm just playing a game by myself, waiting for them to finish so we can get back together. And then Sean crashed. And then all of a sudden it was only Anthony. So Anthony just ended up dying, and we got into a game together again. And then, before the first round was over, Anthony's system crashed. So within like a 30-minute period, all 4 systems experienced a crash. And that was pretty surprising to me. On one hand, it made me feel a little better because I know it's not just me. I'm not worried that, like, oh man, my system's faulty. Like, no, it's not. It's just it's not a very polished experience. You know, there are bugs, there are glitches, and, you know, that's kind of the nature of the game today. All games have glitches. But I was annoyed to see all of us crash like that. And I hope that they iron these out soon.
Agreed.
But yeah, I've been playing a good amount of that. I'm about halfway through the Battle Pass, which started, I don't know, a week ago. I think the 25th, so actually more than a week now, 2 weeks. Almost, week and a half, whatever.
Nice.
I'm not making it through as fast as last time, but I don't have COVID keeping me out of work like I did last time, so that makes sense.
Somebody cough on this man, please.
Please don't. Please don't. I'm going to tell you the truth, man. COVID sucked. I don't ever want to have it again.
But was it worth the time off?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was terrible.
Some people have different beliefs. I'll plead the fifth.
Well, I mean, it also depends on how sick you got. You know, I know other people that have gotten it and barely felt sick at all. And to them, I'm sure that it was definitely worth the time off.
Yeah, I was only out due to exposure. No, I didn't test positive. So
you know, I had a couple days where I was like genuinely sick enough that I was worried about my health. I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be okay. And you know, my son has a history of croup, so I was, of course, worried the whole time that he was going to end up getting it and getting, like, really sick. He didn't get it, luckily. But, I think the bigger problem was it kind of, like, lingered. Like, after I felt better, I would feel better for, you know, 4 or 5 days. And then all of a sudden I'd have another day or two where my energy was just gone, my head was killing me, and I just couldn't function. I think that's finally over because I've gone several weeks without having one of those days. But, yeah, it definitely sucked.
It was an odd thing. I really don't know. I had some symptoms at first, but then it started to chill out, and I never tested positive. So, I mean, I don't know. This whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. We need somebody to clean it up. We need a broom. We need a mop. We need you to clean it up. It's a mess. I don't like it.
I like your little accent you had there. Yeah, so I've been playing Overcooked a little bit. You know, I think I only played once with the kids for an hour. I've been playing a lot of Duty. As always, pretty much every time we do this, you're gonna be like, "Hey, what we've been playing lately?" And I will like, "Duty." But like at some point, you just gotta be like, "Hey, how was Duty this week?"
Yeah, we'll get there next week. I got you.
Yeah.
We'll start with what you've been playing with. How was Duty this week?
Yep. Also, I was telling you earlier, I dove back into Hitman. I know I started playing it and then I kind of stopped for whatever reason, probably duty. But I dove back in, last night and today. I'm on the last mission now. I'm having a blast at this game, man. Yeah, of one.
Okay.
I'm having an absolute blast at this game. It's fun, finding the different ways to kill people. It is a challenge. I think each mission can be done fairly easily if you're not worried about your score. Like, they score you at the end of each mission on, where you spotted, did people find the bodies, did you kill anyone other than the people you were supposed to kill, all stuff like that, and your time. And I think pretty much anyone could turn this game on and beat every single mission, regardless of your gaming skill. But if you're like me, I'm fairly patient with these games, and I'm very meticulous. Like, I open the thing up, I go into a mission, it tells you the story, why you have to kill these people, what they've done, whatever. And then you're just dropped into the map, and it's kind of a sandbox. It's a very, it's not like a Grand Theft Auto huge open world sandbox, but like each stage is a sandbox that you play around in and figure out the best way to kill people. And then there's challenges to all right, just to beat it, you got to kill your targets and get away. That's that. But then they might say, oh, well, we want you to kill this person while wearing a certain suit. We want you to kill this person by drowning them in the toilet. We want you to kill this person by dropping a chandelier on their head. And you got to find, how do I do this? What person's suit do I steal? What key cards do I need? What part of the building do I get to? How do I manipulate the person to get them under that chandelier? And then how do I drop it without being seen? Do I have to kill anyone else? Where do I hide the bodies? It's really fun. I did 100% complete the first mission, and then I think I did about 50% of the second. Now I've decided I'm just going to go through and do the best I can my first playthrough on each mission. And after I beat this last mission, which I'm hoping will be an hour or two after this podcast, then I'm going to go back and do some of the extra kill them in special manners. There have been a couple that I kind of cheated to get. I mean, not cheated, but once you do it, it counts as done. So
Gotcha.
I was playing one before we did the podcast with the chandelier. That's why I said that. I was hiding in this building, and one of my targets came in, and they wanted me to drop a chandelier on her. They also wanted me to kill her with a pistol. So right when she came in, I just shot her in her head with a pistol. Then I popped up, the challenge was done. I reloaded my last checkpoint, went back in, went upstairs, and cut the chandelier on her head. So I was like, you know what? I'm not doing a whole nother run through. I can do these both right now. But it is really fun. I think that you should probably grab it. Either, on the Xbox or obviously on the Switch. I think I'd have to look it up. Hitman 1 might be part of Game Pass. I know it was. I don't know if it still is.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward to finishing it. The story has been very interesting. I'm looking forward to finishing it and getting it too. I set a New Year's resolution to beat 12 games, and I started off great. I beat South Park the first week of the year. That was the last game I beat. Well, I mean Dead Cells, but I don't really know if Dead Cells counts. Oh, this is that pirate ship stage I was talking about. Every 30 seconds, it's gonna rock, and the two columns are gonna slide to one side, and right now, me and this one player are cutting stuff. We're going to be pushed over to the other side where we got to serve. And the other two got to run around and do the other stuff.
That definitely looks fun. Is there online capability for this game? I'd assume yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, I wouldn't want to play this with bots, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, you definitely... I haven't played with computer players. I don't even know if you can.
I wouldn't.
But
I would guess you can. I would hope they would add that feature. Maybe not in Overcooked 1, but I would hope in Overcooked 2. You got to think they got to have a play with bots. There's no way they make this only online or with local players.
I do know that there's a lot of like chefs. Like you can see, like one of my kids is like a little alien dude. One's on fire. One's some girl with green hair, and then I'm the old man. There's a lot of them, and the kids have already played Overcooked, but their reaction when the character select screen came up says that there's a lot more of them in this than at least they had unlocked in the previous games. Because they were definitely like, whoa! You alright there? You're not dying on me, are you?
I am.
It's back. Man. Alright, guys. NSX podcast. There's no more N, though. He's gone, so it's just the X filling in for the N and the S, but I do know the X stuff, so we'll be alright. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I haven't played, but I want to give a shout out. I brought this up. Wario64. I showed you this guy on Twitter, right? Or this account. Yeah. So I mean, they've got I think like 800,000 followers. So it's not like I'm telling anybody that this person exists and they don't know already. But they post a lot of deals. You know, I was able to find. I didn't get it, but the nunchucks, the Zelda nunchucks that we missed out on, they did go back in stock. And I missed them by a few minutes, but they posted about it. A guy at work was able to get a PS5 because I showed him that that this account, a guy at work was able to get one. You know, I showed him that this account had said they were live. He got on, he got one. So shout out to Wario64. He helped me get this.
He helped save my life. No.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, little random unboxing video I did. I'll just let it run. Yeah, I look absolutely stupid trying to peel these. I had like just clipped my nails, so I couldn't really get this tape off so well, and I didn't want to like just tear it and destroy the box.
You watched me do my unboxings. It's not always the best.
Yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. You know Battle for Bikini Bottom from when we were younger.
I know from now, too, even. The Rehydrated edition looks great. I've seen people play it. It looks phenomenal. Even on Switch, it looks really good.
Yeah, so they redid the game, and it's kind of in the vein of, like, Crash and Spyro and all these games from our younger years that are getting redone.
Yeah.
That one's actually not me. So I had to pick it up. Like, there was an extra piece of tape on the bottom. Like, I peeled one off. There was another one under it. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And how about that sexy new controller, too, in the background? That little green NSX.
Oh, yeah, that's the custom one Tiff got me. The missus grabbed that for Valentine's Day, which I appreciate. I normally don't let her give me gifts. I'm big on not letting people give me things. But that one, I was like, you know what? We can make an exception. She can give me this. Yeah.
She was like, all right, you want me to bring it back? You're like, nah, hold on a minute.
I mean, it says NSX on the front. It's got my name on the back. It says Red Cloud. It's pretty damn cool.
Can I retract that whole no gift thing?
Yeah, I was like, you know what? We'll let it slide this time. But yeah, Wario64 tweeted about this SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
Yeah, what was this?
This is the shiny edition. Originally $150. It was on sale, the Xbox version, for $48. So I was like, sold.
Upset to not see a Switch version. Only PS and Xbox got this.
Yeah. Some socks.
Socks?
Yeah. Some SpongeBob socks.
I hate you. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I know you want to wear the SpongeBob socks.
I want to put that statue on my new little setup on my desk.
It's sitting on top of my computer right now.
What was that? What was that you were just holding up?
They're art cards. I'm gonna open them and show them to the camera.
Oh, awesome.
Like art prints. I think there's 6 of them.
So cool.
Yeah, they're nice quality. You know, they've got a nice texture to them. They're not printed on like crap.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I haven't played the game yet. It's still wrapped in plastic. I want to finish another game before I dare turn on anything else.
If you could find like a photo frame that holds like 6 photos that size, 3 on each side, that would be dope.
Yeah, you know what? I might find something like that, and then maybe draw up some SpongeBob stuff to put in the frame, and just put it on the wall.
Oh, I can't wait to see this figurine again, bro. I'm in love with the statue's quality, dude. And for you to get the game, the statue, the artwork, the socks for $48, what a steal!
Yeah, I mean, I wanted the game. Like, I had already wanted the game. I was like, I'm definitely gonna get this. Oh yeah, there were some stickers too.
What makes you think we didn't see this for Switch?
I mean, honestly, I would probably turn to you for the answer to that question.
Yeah. I just know you're big in, like, the market world in general too, with like consoles and everything like that. But I mean, I wouldn't guess that's a Nintendo thing, right? I mean, wouldn't this be more the developer of the game itself, or?
Well, no, do you mean like the shiny edition? Like the
yeah, like,
no, dude, the special edition is on the Switch. It just wasn't on the sale.
That's what I mean. Like, why do you think that didn't go on sale? Like, do you think it's done well enough on the Switch?
It might be selling better. It honestly, it very well could be the cost of the Switch cartridge. I've said this to you before. Like, Switch cartridges are not cheap to developers, so it's not entirely uncommon for games to not see price cuts or not see the same level of deals as the other consoles because they've got to pay a good chunk for the cartridge itself.
Yo, if you guys are listening, Battle for Bikini Bottom, I'll pay $60. I like that statue. Victory screech. That's all I can think of. That's great. Look at Gary. I love Gary's face. Like, dude, what are you? Why do I not call SPS Snail Protective Services?
Snail Protective Services. That's one of your weakest jokes. I just want you to know that.
If I were ever to get a cat, it's Gary. It's the closest thing.
I was showing the statue to the missus, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." And then she's looking at it, and she's like, "Yo, that's like an eyeball on the floor." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's like falling out the eye socket." She's like, "Oh, that's a robot's head." Like, what did you think he was standing on? A trash can? My goodness. Yeah. I really like it. I have a couple of these now. I'd like to get some more. I had a few. Yeah, it slid right in. It's nice and snug. It won't just pull out.
Cool.
I have a couple of these. I think I showed you my Ellie statue from The Last of Us 2.
Yes, you did.
That's probably my favorite. I have my Kratos and Atreus statue from the collector's edition of God of War. I got an older Ryu statue. I want to say Street Fighter V.
That transition was tight.
Yeah. I want to get. I had a couple more in the past that, having 5 kids at various ages have not played very nice with some of my collectibles, but they behave now. They're much older. I've trained them well. Spray bottle and stuff.
Isn't it such a rewarding thing, the journey of life?
Yeah. I know that you like these, so let's boom.
Yes, I know, I understand you got your life and everything, dude, and I know it's not going to be an every week thing, but I said, dude, if we could have this on the podcast almost every time, like, I love adding these on, dude. This is just awesome to see what you do step by step, sped up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the time lapses. I have a good time with these. I'm pretty good. I'm not great. A lot of people that aren't good at drawing or any art, they see what I do and they're like, "Oh my God, you're great." I'm really not. I know I've got friends that are significantly better than me, but I do pretty good work. I've got some issues, certain things that I don't do well at, but this style, I can handle this. Yeah. Just
a little bit, buddy. You guys keep that statue in your head because you're about to see something. That statue, once again.
Yeah. It's not like spot on perfect, but it's pretty damn good.
It's close. It's the real deal, dude.
I definitely I made a mistake. If you can see right now, I sketched the spatula, but then forgot to actually do the spatula. So then I go back and do it, and I didn't like how it came out, so I erase it, and then I did it again with the statue in front of me, but the statue wasn't at the same angle, so the spatula isn't at the angle it's supposed to be from what it was when I was doing that. Right now, I'm about to redo it. So.
is the guy that just started being able to tell the difference between 30 FPS and 60 FPS. So
yeah, it's pretty good though. There you go. That's
there it is.
That's my SpongeBob. Let's take that off. Yeah, I like how it came out. I just found out a guy I work with like has a master's in art. He's like a legitimate artist, and he's pretty damn good. I think that my work that I've done recently probably matches up to a lot of the drawings I've seen from him. But he does a lot of 3D stuff that I have no idea how to do, like actual 3D modeling and stuff. I would love to learn that. It always makes me wonder, like, what would have happened if I actually pursued art, if I went to school for it. Part of me really wishes I did. Although, part of me is happy I didn't. Like, he was telling me that, like, it's really not a great industry to get involved in because there's not a lot of money to be made. A lot of artists end up just never making any money and becoming something else. So I guess I should be happy that I didn't spend a lot of money on school for something that I ended up, or would have ended up not doing.
Right. Right. No, I agree.
But yeah, I think I do pretty good. You know, our little logo there I did. And I had photos for reference for that. And you know, I did your other logo that we don't use on the stream. In mine. So I do some stuff. I think I'm probably 90% as good as most of like the really talented artists that I personally know that like went to school for it. But one thing I can definitely say for them is not only are they that 10% better than me, but like they can get to my results faster than I can. Like because they went to school for it, they know how to accelerate the process. Like I probably take 4, 5, or 6 steps to do something they do in 2.
Right.
But I enjoy it. It's something fun to do. I get in random moods to draw a lot, and then I get out of them. So I guess we're good to move on, though. We're just babbling at this point.
Yeah.
You want to hit Nintendo? I know we don't have a lot, but I do have...
We don't have a lot for once.
You want to talk some Diamond Pearl? Or, you know, Shimmering Pearl?
I mean, I just want to talk about Pokemon and the Pokemon Presents in general. I mean, I just kind of want to give my feedback on that presentation, but I thought the start of it was really, really cool. I thought it dragged on for a little while. At one point, I was like, all right, we get it. Pokemon had a lot of things come out. Anime, cards, link cable. I'm like, I didn't like how they like repeated some things, like anime still. There's still anime. Hey, did we mention there's anime? Like, yeah, once or twice. But no, you know what, dude? It all jokes aside, I mean, it was, I think. Like
well, there was no, you know, Pokemon brush your teeth.
No. Listen, I didn't mind it. I love Pokemon. I love seeing that. I loved seeing it was like going through time. Again, I could see where people were complaining that part was a little dragged on, whatever.
You know, the only complaint I really saw was Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, well, we'll get
and I don't think that's even a complaint for me, so whatever.
We'll get to it. They showed Pokemon Snap shortly after that, and I know it's not exactly what you wanted, but I can tell you I am excited for April, and it cannot come soon enough. I am ready to get started on the Pokemon 25 wave with some Pokemon Snap. I understand it doesn't let you do some deeper mechanics than what we've known, but at least as of now from what we know. But the detail in having like 1, 2, 3, and 4-star photos per Pokemon, and it looks like they're gonna have a deep story. You're gonna have a rival in this, and I'll tell you, the game itself looks really, really good for a Pokemon game.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of a knock on Game Freak, that all of these other companies seem to be able to make their characters look so much better. You know,
well, I think this is a game where it's a lot easier on Pokemon because your movement is already decided by the game. It's like you're kind of just strolling through this pre-made game, you know.
No, absolutely, but I mean, like you even look to like you know, Pokken Tournament or Pokken Tournament. The Pokemon look way better in that. You know, it's just you're constantly seeing Pokemon seem to look better in places other than Pokemon games, like the core Pokemon games. Game Freak, maybe, you know, maybe do a little better for us, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
So your Diamond and Pearl opinions?
Well, so Pokemon Snap looked good. I thought I was shocked to see how lackluster the news for like Pokemon Go, um, Pokemon Cafe. I mean, they added some acorns in for it, whatever. I just feel like there wasn't a lot of support for that, and I thought it was odd. I thought we would see something for some, like, maybe some clothing, like they are doing a collab with Levi's. I don't know if I even told you this. You said your buddy had the Levi's shirt with the Pikachu on it, right?
Yeah.
Well, they actually came out with 2 more limited edition Levi hoodies for Pokemon, and one's really, really dope. It's like a light pink with Snorlax, Gengar, Eevee, Meowth. I can't remember all the Pokemon on it offhand, but it's a dope looking hoodie, and I'm like, wow, like why aren't they actually promoting this collab with Levi's? But I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I expected to see something for Pokemon Go, something big. You know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't really like. I think that game's gotten big enough that it doesn't need a Pokemon Direct to really hype it at all. They can do that just fine on their own.
But I'm just saying, like they just came out with Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres and Rays for the day on Pokemon Day. Like I just thought they would have had like some quests dedicated to it. You know, just something cool. Shiny rates increase for Kanto Pokemon. I just thought they would have did. I know they did the Kanto tour, but I don't know.
Well, that's kind of the thing about wanting something. Like it's easier for us to come up with ideas for them than it is for them to actually make the ideas happen sometimes.
Yeah. I wasn't mad about it. I was just kind of surprised, if anything, to like not see a little more pumped into their games. And then, like we didn't see anything on Pokemon Unite, but whatever. Skip all that. Then they start flashing back in time, and let me tell you, before I tell you, when I saw these remakes, I saw the next game we're going to talk about get leaked an hour beforehand. And when they showed the Diamond and Pearl remakes and that popped up, I'm like, wow, that is nothing like the leak we saw at all.
But I'm still happy with the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Like
I am too. Listen, here's the thing: is Game Freak had a choice. They were going to appeal to the people that actually played Diamond and Pearl in their prime, people like me and you, that want that top-down style kind of Pokemon game, and then there's the crazy people that complain that we're not getting a Sword and Shield engine like game for Diamond and Pearl, when I wasn't even aware that people like Sword and Shield's engine. I thought everybody hated this. I mean, I don't really care for it. It's not good. It's not bad. That's where I'm at. But everybody hated this. Everybody wanted to post pictures of the trees and everything like that. So listen, I mean, here's the truth. Diamond and Pearl remakes, Game Freak was getting...
Hang on, those trees sucked.
I know they did.
Okay.
I agree. So why are people complaining for that engine? Like, I don't know. Here's the thing is, like, people wanted this modernized game, but this is a remake of a game. Everybody's saying the same thing. Why does it look like a 3DS game? Because it's supposed to look like a DS game, because it is a DS game. And, like, it's updated, it's modernized. If you go back and you look at the water in that trailer, like, it looks good, dude, for, like, that kind of game. The houses look good. It doesn't look bad. The character models when you're battling almost looks like Let's Go. I didn't mind it.
No, I actually really did like it. I wasn't expecting some, complete overhaul. If you really look at the remakes throughout, the history of Pokemon, none of them have been these spectacular leaps forward for the franchise itself. They're just leaps from the game that it was. And this absolutely looks better than Diamond and Pearl did. That's all I really need.
That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? And it does look better. It looks a lot more clean. I think the character models look, I mean, I'm not going to say, I can see where people's standpoint is when they're not in battle. I think the character models look really good for the game we were expecting in battle. But I personally like the little chibi style. I think it's cute. And I think, it's just how a Pokemon game is like meant to look when it's like that kind of generation of Pokemon. They tried to stick to traditional Diamond and Pearl and make the original fans happy, which it makes me happy to see Game Freak do that. And like I said, no matter what route they took, they were going to get heat because Pokemon has such a divided fan base. It's tough. We talked about how long Pokemon has been such a big thing, and it's not like I'm not talking, just it's been big. It's been a hit for kids for a long time now, and even adults.
No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to them. I'm definitely going to buy them and play them. The people out there complaining, like, you're not going to get what you want just because you want it. Like, they had a plan with this game. They delivered on what their plan was. I don't think that it was ever meant to look any better than it does, and I think it looks plenty good anyway. So, Just stop complaining about everything. It's getting tiresome.
Question for you. Or one question and then one little prediction real quick to leave off for Diamond and Pearl. Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl? I know you're gonna get both, but which one are you gonna play?
Probably Diamond.
Me too.
Yeah, I went with Diamond way back when. So
I own Diamond. I'm not gonna lie to you. I owned Diamond way back when, but as I've gotten older, I'm really a big Palkia fan. So maybe I'll go Shining Pearl this time around. Be interesting. And then I do want to make a prediction early, way before we hear anything about this, just because I really feel in my heart that we are getting Mega Evolutions back. And Central Leaks, by the way, shout out to Central Leaks on Twitter. They tweet Pokemon leaks like insanity. They predicted the next big game we're going to talk about prior, and then on top of that, they came out with some leaks advanced from what we saw in the Pokemon Presents that we'll talk about as well. And they also told us that we weren't going to have to wait until Pokemon Day to get the Diamond and Pearl remakes. So, and I showed you that probably like a week before this, right? So,
right.
So I mean, shout out to Central Leaks. They know their stuff over there,
right?
And I would highly recommend following them if you want to keep up on all the Pokemon news and maybe spoil a little bit of stuff for yourself. It's good to know. I like to know personally, because you never know. Because we'll talk about it in a little bit. I'll talk about it with Pokemon Legends, but my prediction right now is that we see Mega Evolutions come back into the Diamond and Pearl remakes. And I predict that we're going to get the 3 starters to get Mega Evolutions, new Mega Evolutions. Then I'm predicting 6 Pokemon. You remember Sinnoh was big for generational evolutions from Pokemon from like Kanto and Johto. They all got like new evolutions like Electabuzz, Magmar. You know what I'm talking about, obviously.
Yeah,
Snorlax.
absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm predicting 6 Pokemon that got evolutions in that generation will get Mega Evolutions, and then you'll see at least 6 Sinnoh Pokemon added, such as like Staraptor, get their own Mega Evolutions. But I do think at least you can count on maybe Magmar, Electivire, and Rhyperior definitely getting Megas, and then we'll see from there. But I'm not sure about Snorlax as much as obviously he's my favorite, and I would love to see him get a Mega, and I think they skipped on him for Kangaskhan and the Kanto Megas, but I'm not sure because he got a pre-evolution and not a bigger evolution, so that will be interesting, but I'm praying. I think it'd be a great time because Munchlax was huge. I don't know if you remember this, but a big reason why I'm a Snorlax fan is I was talking about this with my buddy. He invited me over when we were kids to watch Destiny Deoxys. And I don't know if you remember, that was like, 2-3 years before Diamond and Pearl even came out. And they showed off Munchlax right then and there, like way before we got the game. Which I just thought, I don't know. I remember watching that movie and thinking that was the best movie we had since the original Pokemon movie with Deoxys and the fights. And it was just an insane movie.
Yeah, it was solid. I definitely look forward to seeing the games. I think new Megas is a solid bet.
Yeah.
I definitely like to see them for the starters. I'd like to see a Snorlax one just for you. So.
Thanks, buddy. But, I'd even be happy to see Pokemon like even Tangela with Tangrowth getting a Mega or Electabuzz. I think you're going to see a lot of older Pokemon get some Megas and the newer Sinnoh Pokemon. I think it's going to have a really healthy combination of both. That's just my prediction. I think they added 17 Megas into Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so don't be surprised if my prediction's right there with the 6, 6, and 3.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. You've been chomping at the bit to start our next thing, right? So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's pop it up.
Yeah, folks. If you haven't seen it yet, that's no worries. Boom. If you haven't seen this yet, this could be the future of Pokemon if they do what they're showing off correct. This is the most potential I've ever seen for a Pokemon game. So this got leaked prior to an hour before the Pokemon Presents. And I thought this was going to be the Diamond and Pearl remaster. So you could see I was a little misled with thinking that wasn't going to exist after I saw that. And I was like, oh, man, what a disappointment. But then they show off, what is this, Breath of the Pokemon?
You said Breath of the Pokemon. Nice.
Legend of Pokemon, Breath of the Piplup. I think that's what we got here. I mean, literally, this trailer blew my mind. This is what I mean. A lot of people that have been playing this since Kanto, my friends that have played this since day one. This is what we've wanted for a long time from a Pokemon game. This is what we dreamed about. I mean, your thoughts?
No, I mean pretty much what you're saying. Like, you know, from when I started playing Pokemon, obviously, when you're a gamer, like you're playing a game, but you're getting involved in the story, in the world, and I think that you can kind of get sucked in and imagine more to the game than there actually is. And I really believe that when I thought about Pokemon, this is kind of what I pictured a game eventually being. Like the perfect Pokemon game would drop me into a world where Pokemon exist all around me. I don't just see shaking grass. I see actual Pokemon. And I run around and I throw my Pokeball and I catch one and I battle some. And just an open world kind of game. Like, you know, Breath of the Wild, which is obviously getting clear comparisons to. Both good and bad, because some people are pointing out that the assets in the game are fairly low quality, like many of the Sword and Shield or Breath of the Wild assets are. Maybe that leads to a Switch Pro giving us something better.
Yeah.
I think that this has the potential to be, you know, the first truly next-gen Pokemon we've ever seen. I feel like every Pokemon game we've seen, from Red and Blue to Sword and Shield, are actually the same game, just graphics engines have changed. This actually feels like the next evolution of the Pokemon formula.
It really does, and
it does. Like if you look at it, like the textures, they don't look good.
Not yet. No.
On shaded grass, those buildings look like crap. But the concept, the gameplay, I'll look past all of the visual flaws if it plays like I'm hoping it does.
But I mean, how great would it be if this right now is what we're looking at on regular Switch footage, and then there is a Switch Pro plan to optimize this game that much more? That would be great, dude. I can only hope, but I mean, dude, I'll tell you what, I would even be happy just to see them get a game that's stable enough to run this game consistently, and it doesn't got to be perfect. I would just like to see them at least try this step. I give them credit for at least the initiative to really listen to the fans for once. But man, and I mean, the leaks go beyond this. Some of the changes they're making to the Pokemon series, and first of all, what's up with these starters? I couldn't even tell you, buddy.
I don't, you know, I look at this this game, and I don't know if you remember this. You know, you weren't big on Switch right away, but when it first came out, there were some rumors of what Pokemon was going to be on the Switch. And there was a leak. I shouldn't say a leak. There was a rumor that ended up just like a fan concept. And it was like, it kind of looked like what we're seeing in this, except much, much better. I sent you a picture of it. I don't have it queued up on the computer to bring it up. But, like, when you look at it, you're like, damn, if this game actually ended up looking like that, you'd be sold in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm sold already, but you'd be sold more. I am excited, though.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what you're seeing in that top left corner in the pic, we can't even show people this, but it's basically his Pokemon with you know, the icon of the Pokemon health bar, and then the 5 other Pokeballs under it. And you're going to be able to swap out instantly. And, yo, I'm telling you, from what Central Leaks is saying, that is what you're going to see, dude. That is exactly what this is heading towards.
I'm hoping that's what this is, man. I'm very much looking forward to playing this. They said early next year. I know you had said maybe Pokemon Day next year. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, some of the leaks around this game have just been downright insane. Starting with, I mean, you know, you're gonna be able to. There's gonna be no more encounters. There's no more encounters with Pokemon. You're gonna take your Pokemon out of the ball. You're gonna walk up and you're gonna fight side by side by your Pokemon, just like they showed right there. And like, I guess you're just gonna put Riolu back in the ball and you can throw the ball. I don't know how it works 100%. But that's the combat right there, instantly. There's no load screen to get there, and I love that personally.
And this being development footage, you can see that there's very clearly some frame rate issues, especially in combat moments. But it's too early in development for us to really hone in on that. That's something that gets ironed out in the last few months of a game's development. So as long as we're not seeing that, if you're right and this comes out, Pokemon Day, as long as we're not seeing that in anything that shows up at like the Game Awards this year, then we should be able to count on a pretty stable game.
All leaks point to we should have a Switch Pro this year, though. That's what they're still saying, as crazy as it sounds. But
yeah, we've been hearing that. We don't know what form it's going to take. I know there was a report, actually Wario64 that I brought up earlier, shared from Bloomberg that they are expecting a new Switch with a 720p OLED screen and a 7-inch OLED screen, so slightly larger, kind of looking like the one I showed on the last podcast when I made the screen bigger than what the Switch normally has.
Right.
But supposedly that when docked, it'll run 4K and high frame rate games. We don't know if that's like upscaling, if it's DLSS, if it's actually significantly more powerful. I hope that by E3 we have a good idea of what it is. I'm certain it's real. There's been too many leaks, too many people talking about it. It has to be real. I just I really hope that it is.
Right, me too. Me too. So let's talk about a little bit more of that, and then we'll move on to either Sony or Xbox, your choice. But do you have those photos I sent you over by any chance?
I actually don't. I completely forgot to bring them up here.
No problem. We don't need the photos, but there is photographic proof. If you guys just go on Central Leaks, you guys can see it all posted there. They have it posted right up on there, so you could see it all. But basically, first things first is Pokemon is going to do something new with the speed stat entirely. And from what all leaks are saying is this is not going to be one turn-based anymore.
Right, you were telling me this. Like, the faster your speed, you might be able to go multiple times before the slower Pokemon does.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is there's going to be an energy gauge system. And let's just say you got 400 speed and I got 100. You're going to be going 4 times as many times as me. You might not do as much power, but I like to see the speed stat become more relevant. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of Pokemon change. And then the second thing real quick is just, people are saying Breath of the Piplup. And, well, nobody's saying that but me, in all honesty. But people are saying, Pokemon Breath of the Wild, though. And just to show you how much it's really like that, this is going to be just like Breath of the Wild in the regards of every step you take it's open world. You can climb up cliffs just like you do in Breath of the Wild. And to make it more interesting, we have 3 leaked photos of you're going to be able to mount Pokemon. And, you're going to get, like, say you mount Stanler, you're going to get a 30% movement speed buff. Say you mount Sandslash, you're going to get, like, a 30% climb speed buff. So I like that Pokemon not only is changing the combat and everything, but now we're finding new uses for our Pokemon. And again, Pokemon that might have not been as useful. And there's also even a gliding aspect. I don't know if I even told you that, but you can also glide on certain Pokemon, such as like Drifloon. It looked like was in the leak. Just like a paraglider. I'm not sure about flying, but gliding is the thing that's leaked right now. No flying.
Well, that would make sense with the Breath of the Wild seeming, having things pulled from the Breath of the Wild engine, the ability to glide. Like, that was a big part of Breath of the Wild, being able to float down.
Yeah, but take it a step further and let you fly openly in free roam, and that would be incredible.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing is, it seems like we're not going to have gym battles anymore. It looks like we're going to have boss Pokemon out in the wild, and it looks like there's a new Pokemon coming that's an electric type that looks insane. Hatchet Man? I don't know what his name is, but that's who he is.
I like Hatchet Man. Let's go with Hatchet Man.
Hatchet Man it is. He's an electric Hatchet Man, and they have a huge health bar over his head. So, I am wondering, is this going to be a one-player?
It'll be like MON. It'll be Hatchet Mon.
Hatchet Mon.
Yeah. We'll do that.
I like too.
Let's talk to Nintendo. We got to get the Game Freak. Hey, guys, listen. Hatchet Mon.
I am insanely hyped. I'm hyped for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I don't want to take away from it. I still think that looks great. And I'm even hyped for Snap. Can't wait. Pokemon Legends, though, please don't mess this shit up.
Please don't mess it up.
Don't mess this shit up.
All right. With that, I think we're going to move on to the PlayStation State of Play.
Like it.
Now, we've, that's what, a week and a half ago, so we can kind of just breeze over this stuff. A lot of people have already covered it, so definitely chime in with anything you've...
I don't know why everybody gave it hate. I think it's odd.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think people gave it hate because they like hyped themselves up and thought we were gonna get like Horizon Zero Dawn, or I'm sorry, Forbidden West and God of War and Days Gone 2 and like, guys, that wasn't gonna happen.
It's that Nintendo hype.
Yeah, just some people just build up more in their head than what you could ever possibly deliver.
Yo, you know what's crazy is the announcements were good and we could talk about it, but I thought the announcements of what they showed looked really, really good.
Yeah. This footage is about to end, so I'm just gonna bring up your, what did you have? Project Triangle Strategy, right? Yep, there we go.
Great game.
We'll let that run.
2022 is getting already like a great year somehow. We got Splatoon 3, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Project Triangle Strategy. Not Theory.
He's got 3 games. Yeah, not Theory. This is not another Calamity of Ganon. Stop it. All right, so PlayStation State of Play. They only showed 10 games. We'll breeze through them real quick. Crash Bandicoot 4 Next Gen was shown. We've already, it's already out. The first game, or the current gen game, whatever you want to say. Old gen. Current gen is the new systems. It's gonna run 4K 60 frames per second. They said faster loads, which the more I've played on my PlayStation, they're not lying, man. That thing loads fast. It is going to take advantage of the haptics on the controller, like the force feedback triggers and whatnot, and activity cards. Have I talked to you much about activity cards?
Not really.
Yeah, I haven't really used them too much. They're like little activity cards in the game that, like, the system keeps track of, like, a card might be beating this stage in a certain amount of time. And you can see that from your main menu of your system. And you can see that you're close to doing it. Maybe the time is 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and you did it before in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So it'll show you that you've gotten close. You've almost done this. And then you can hit a button on it, and it will instantly take you to that stage. Bypass all the other load-up screens. Just boom, that's where you're going to. So it's going to use those. I don't know exactly how, but it's going to be there. It is a free upgrade for people that own the PS4 or Xbox version already. And it comes out March 12th. Now, one thing we do got to stress, it got confirmed for the Switch, but no date. So Crash is coming to the Switch, which was definitely something we talked about
March.
Before, and now we got the Tony Hawk as well. But
crazy March or no?
No, it didn't get a date. It just said later this year. It's coming to PS5 and Series X March 12th. Moving on, Returnal. Returnal is a new game from Housemarque. You know Housemarque Studios, right?
Yeah.
They did
I do just want to let you know, it is confirmed now on the Nintendo Switch website, Crash 4, It's About Time, available March 11th.
Oh, and the official release, it did not say a date.
Oh, I remember. You're right. They must have just put it on the eShop and just, hey, it's weird. They didn't give any attention to it. They didn't even mention it during the Direct, and they just plopped the date. And you know why I remembered that, dude? Because if you remember that sheet that we had for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, Crash was in March. Yeah.
Anyway, you're not wrong. I definitely see that it says March 2021.
11. Yeah.
Weird. That's
I don't
weird.
know.
Because I'm looking at the announcement last month, and it says coming to PlayStation 5 and Series X on March 12th, later 2021 for Switch.
Yeah, and they gave it a day.
It was the same thing as Tony Hawk. It's the same thing. It says it's coming on a certain day for the current systems, and then later for Switch. So apparently they changed their mind. Crash will be now. Good, awesome.
Cool.
But Returnal from Housemarque, they did Resogun. It was a PS4 launch game. I think it was the first PS Plus free game, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like a 2D, side-scrolling shooter where you play on, like, the stage. Like, it plays like 2D. Like, you're not moving, on the 3 planes. You're only moving up and down and left and right. But the world itself, like the stages, like I remember one of the first or second stages is like a wraparound stage that you go in a big circle around it. Really fun, like twin stick shooter kind of game. But this is a third person shooter. that definitely draws on their experience from the 2D games like Resogun, and they have another one. I think it's like Next Machina or Next Machine, something like that. And it has a little bit of Dead Cells in it, because every time you die, you'll start at the beginning of the game, and the map will change a little bit. And they reported it's coming out April 30th. That's obviously subject to change. We've seen games get delayed days before they come out. We've seen games get announced to be coming out sooner than we thought. So let's hope for April 30th.
I'll tell you what, April 30th, it's not making the podcast. I'm just messing around.
All right. Knockout City, which actually got 2 appearances in like a week, because it showed up at the Nintendo Direct, and then it showed up at the State of Play. And I think the State of Play showing was much better. It showed a lot of gameplay, a lot of the abilities of this crazy dodgeball team combat game, kind of like Overwatch with dodgeball instead of shooting. It is crossplay. There's a crossplay beta coming, and the game comes out May 21st. I mean, I'll probably check it out, but it doesn't look like something that I'm going to be like really hooked on and want to play all the time. But for those people that love it, enjoy. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I'm a little hyped for the game, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people think it's going to be a bust, but to go a little deeper into that, when we heard about Velen Studios, I remember they said they were from upstate New York.
Oh yeah, this is the one that you surprised me with.
Yeah, and they developed Mario Kart Home Live Circuit too, by the way, or Live Home Circuit.
Yeah, I noticed that they're actually listed on the front of the box. It's like Valen Locomotion or something.
Yeah, and now they're working with EA to make an online dodgeball game. And come to find out, they're only 5 minutes away from us.
Yeah, they're right over the bridge, man. That's crazy.
Valen Studios, if you guys want your little podcast team set up, you know where we are.
They probably have a better podcast than ours, but we'll come join yours. Don't worry about it.
We can work. We can work with people.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
So next up was my highlight of the State of Play, actually. Sifu. I don't know what to say. It was
really cool.
So it looks fun. It's like a martial arts game where you start as like a young man, and you kind of go through these like long John Wick / Daredevil or like old boy kind of fight scenes where you're just like marching through a stage and like a bunch of guys are coming at you, and you're just kung fuing the hell out of all of them. And then if you die, you like get older and get up and keep going. So I guess the goal is to try to beat the game before you turn into an old man and die. I'm gonna be playing the hell out of that game when it comes out. If it plays as fun as it looks, I'm gonna be playing that a lot. That's gonna be my next Dead Cells.
Yeah. It's funny you say Dead Cells, because I know the next game you're about to say is Solar Ash.
You're right. It's Solar Ash.
It's my highlight for the PlayStation State of Play, and it's funny because I think the main character, looks like the Dead Cells dude. And it's funny.
Yeah, you know what? I can see that. Yeah.
Ash, Dead Cells, Soul Ash. I mean, come on. Kind of the same little thing there, right?
It's Solar Ash.
What did I say? Soul Ash?
Yes.
My bad. Solar Ash. Yes. I don't know why I said that. I think I said that before the podcast too, and then I corrected myself, and then I did it again. I have a tendency of doing that, like saying the right thing and correcting myself, but then we get on there and I'm just like, Soul Ash. Solar Ash. Sorry, guys. I thought the game looked phenomenal. I'm just shocked to see so many good announcements, such as like Sifu and Solar Ash. And
I'm gonna be honest, Solar Ash I thought looked fun, but it kind of looks like just another take on I don't know if you saw one of the first things they showed for PS5 was the Pathless. It was that like indie looking game where you're like running super fast through stages and shooting your bow at certain objects that speed you up and pull you through the stage. And Solar Ash kind of just looked like another take on that. The Pathless itself was really fun, so that's not a bad thing. But I would have liked a little more originality. Maybe after I see more of the game, I'll change my mind though.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. This one kind of upset me.
Really?
Yeah. No, look, I thought it looked good. My kids are fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, or a couple of them are, and a couple of them like to torture the ones that aren't with it. They're not my cup of tea, but I'm happy for the kids. I'm happy for the other people out there that like it. Well, I mean, it upset me because there was, some rumors shortly before the state of play that we might be seeing a Silent Hill. So when it first came on and it had that like eerie vibe and like talking about horror, I was like, oh, here it comes. And then it was Five Nights at Freddy's, which is still really cool for those that love it. But I was hoping, and they kind of tricked me. So that's that.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a bummer. But I did like even like when you were walking through the ball pit and everything like that. I thought it looked like a very good Five Nights at Freddy game.
Yeah, it definitely did. Well, that's a game that like started out like as a complete indie title, and it got successful enough that they've been able to, up their development talents, and it definitely shows that the studio has grown and they're much better. Oddworld Soulstorm was next. I don't really need to say much about Oddworld. I love the Oddworld games. I've been playing them since PS1. I'm going to dive into this one too. And I think it actually comes out April 6th, I think it said. So,
and it's a PlayStation Plus release, so.
Yeah, I'll definitely be playing the hell out of that. Next up, Kena. We talked about this a couple podcasts back. I love it. I can't wait for this Pixar quality video game.
Game of the year.
I like seeing a little more gameplay of it. When I first saw it, a lot of people were kind of comparing it to like Pikmin. Because of how she was like collecting the little cute little black creatures, little black furry creatures.
I don't see it at all.
Watching the gameplay, it definitely had more of like a Horizon Zero Dawn third person shooting bows with like a Pixar visual quality. And it's August 24th, which is a little upsetting because when we first saw Kena, it was supposedly going to be a launch title, and now it's 10 months after launch. But you know what? Take your time. I said it before. I'll say it again. As much as I want it now, take your time and make sure that it's great. Because I want it to be great.
I'm gonna be real with you right now. You say a game like Horizon Zero Dawn. I say this game really reminds me of. I feel like this is the next Jak and Daxter, the next Sly Cooper, the next Ratchet and Clank. This is like a new beginning for games like that we just loved growing up. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Not only do I feel like this is game of the year, I feel like you could give me a Breath of the Wild too.
I don't know about game of the year.
I do. Back on that. As of now, from what I've seen from any game right now, and this is coming from a Nintendo fan, dude. I have absolutely like diehard love for Nintendo, and usually I would pull some shit and say that this is game of the year, but or I'm sorry, I would say a Nintendo game is game of the year, but I think this is it right now. I don't even think if you give me a Breath of the Wild 2, my mind changes.
Well, I think it looks really good. It looks really good, but I haven't seen it enough. I damn sure haven't played it. And right now, according to Sony, we're still getting Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok this year. Both of those are already Game of the Year games from their previous editions. God of War is considered by many to be the game of the generation. I cannot even fathom saying anything other than God of War or Horizon would deserve Game of the Year without actually getting my hands on it. No. It does look great. I can't wait. Last of Us was last year.
Oh, you're saying this year. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought well, you said game of the decade too. I thought you meant you couldn't fathom.
God of War, a lot of people consider game of the generation.
I thought you were saying you couldn't fathom that not being game of the generation. I'm like, what about Last of Us?
Yeah, I love The Last of Us too, and it's one of my greatest gaming experiences of my life. But God of War is a better game, absolutely.
Yeah.
It has an equally impressive.
I don't disagree because I really don't. I don't know. I haven't played either game deep enough to give you an opinion on that. I mean, anybody can believe whatever they want their game of the decade to be.
All right, moving on. Deathloop. Deathloop is a funny one to me. Because this is, as of, right now with the Bethesda purchase being complete, this is an Xbox game, or a Microsoft game, and yet it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive for a year. It looks fun. You know, wash, rinse, repeat, and kill. It's just kind of Dead Cells in a first-person shooter. You got to kill these 8 targets, and if you die, you just start over and do it again and try different ways. It's from Arcane Studios. They did Dishonored, and those games are phenomenal. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. I do think it's really funny that, you know, Sony's going to be releasing MLB The Show on Xbox this year, and just a month later, I think May 21st is what they said, Microsoft now will be releasing an exclusive title on PlayStation. So there's some humor to that for me. And moving on from that, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade. I don't know what that means. It's Final Fantasy VII, upgraded for PS5, although the content upgrades, I guess, are still for PS4 as well. But obviously the visual upgrades, you know, better resolution, better frame rate, better load times, all of that, that's for the PS5 version. I'm very much looking forward to it. I didn't finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's on my PlayStation right now, and I was actually going to have that be the next game after Hitman. But now that I know there's a PS5 version coming, I'll put something else after Hitman. It looked good. They're adding a whole new chapter of the story with Yuffie. And it's going to be a free upgrade. If you have the PS4 version, you get a free upgrade to the PS5 version. For those that don't have it, 2 things. One, the game is on sale for $30 right now on your PlayStation Store in the US. So go ahead and grab it if you don't have it. It's also on PS Plus. It's the free game this month. Normally, I love when Sony does their free games because they do seem to do the monthly free games so much better than Microsoft, because Microsoft focuses on Game Pass. But I'm not really sold on this one. I like that it's free for people that haven't gotten their hands on it, but the way they're doing it, it's the free game this month, but the free version does not get you the upgrade to the PS5 version. So if you want the PS5 version, you still have to buy it. I feel like that's still, it's cool that it's going to be free. It's a great game. I didn't even finish it, and I loved what I played. But, I don't know. I feel like it's a little misleading. Some people aren't going to understand that they're getting it, and they're not going to be able to upgrade to the PS5 version. So I just hope that Sony is very clear on the store that the PS Plus version will not upgrade to the PS5 version.
Right.
I also hope that the performance is better than the current version. You know, I played it on PS4 Pro. I haven't even tried it on my PS5. But there was a lot of, not so much stutter issues. It was a fairly smooth experience. But there was a lot of texture pop-in issues. And I remember they showed it in the Digital Foundry breakdown, and they couldn't even figure some of them out. Like, there were random times that textures would just take 10, 15, 20 seconds to load in. So you're playing a game where your characters look great, and parts of the world look great, and then a couple parts of them look absolutely terrible. Definitely need to fix that. Definitely need to fix that. So hopefully that's fixed. And that wraps up the state of play. You got anything to say about Final Fantasy VII?
I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it too much. I thought it looked good. I mean, I get both sides. I think this looks great. It looks like a great upgrade. It's free for people that already own it. I think it's going to be interesting to see some maybe conflict when they end up releasing the PS5 version, and maybe people that got it for free as the game of the month don't get that upgraded and they got to buy the full game. We'll see how that pans out. But I thought it looked good. I like that they're adding a little bit of content to it. I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan. I played Final Fantasy X. We
Podcast over.
It. Yeah, well, sorry. I just never got into it. I don't know what you want me to do.
I teach their own.
Get into it. Yeah, no, and I'm not even saying it's a bad game. I love the characters from it. I got huge into Kingdom Hearts. And I mean, you know, all the characters were very lovable, and I guess I just like, you know, I told you it's shocking to get me on a game like Project Triangle Strategy, because I'm not really into this style of game. This is probably the first, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. This is like the first kind of game like this I've ever played in my life. And I actually thought this game was phenomenal. Not to take away from PlayStation or anything. I just wanted to throw that out there because it's interesting.
No, I agree. I've been watching a little bit of the footage here, and it's like stopped me in my tracks on what I'm saying a few times. So I probably come off as stupid to anyone listening. But this actually does look really interesting. The tactical story. Combat, what I've seen of the story looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna check this out.
You have to. This game is really fantastic. And like I never grew up playing Final Fantasy. I played 10. 10 was a lot different, though. I mean, you had that open world kind of aspect of it compared to 7. And, I mean, I don't know. I just never really got exposed to it. But, I mean, everything I saw looked good. I liked how they really showed off certain things, certain effect, like lighting, and then character models, and then the world. Like, they just, like, individually showed you the difference. And then they did it PS4 next to PS5. I like that. I thought it was absolutely good, but I could see where fans were completely underwhelmed, especially when you do this shortly after Nintendo ends their direct with a game like Splatoon 3, which, don't get it wrong, it wasn't the best game you could announce, but it was a big shocker that nobody really saw coming. We didn't see big leaks about it that like people were 100% like, oh yeah, we're getting Splatoon 3 tomorrow.
To that point, in the days leading up to the State of Play, there were several leaks about PS5 versions of Final Fantasy VII, so it wasn't a complete shock. But that's kind of this day and age. Things leak so often. It's just.
I think we heard a rumor for a leak of maybe a new Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, we already know about Horizon Zero Dawn. People were just hoping that it was going to be shown. Right, we've seen Forbidden West.
But that's the thing is like when you expect something so high and you set the bar so high to end it on, and then you just find out you ended on a game getting upscaled. I can see where people are upset, but I still think it looks phenomenal, and you're adding additional content, and they did such a good job on it. I don't know. They're putting a lot of love into Final Fantasy VII. I like it.
Well, I mean, it's the game that really built Square into what it is, 23, 24 years ago when it first came out, it made them go from just a pretty good game developer and studio to like the pinnacle of gaming. Like if Square's name was on something, it was going to sell. People were going to love it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, but I'm saying I don't know. I thought it was crazy to see when I went over to Spawnwave's channel and saw he was doing a poll. What did you think of the State of Play? I voted a B, and 18% of the people voted between A and B. I think it was 8% A, 10% B, and then 72% from C to fucking F. And a lot of, I'm talking like maybe, 28, 30% Fs? Like, I'm like, how is this an F? How is this that bad of a presentation?
I thought it was really good.
I did too.
You know what? The internet's full of trolls. A lot of those Fs were just people being pricks.
Yeah, well, it happens. And you know what? They'll buy the games anyway. That's the funny part. Especially,
don't forget that. They were boycotting Sword and Shield and Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
They still sold pretty damn well. So
and Diamond and Pearl will in November. It's going to sell great. I mean, and just like a lot of these PlayStation games, they should sell great. They're great. They look like great games. I thought it was just as good as the Nintendo Direct. I really did.
I mean, I personally put it even better. I thought every game they showed
was quality, right?
Yeah, it was real quality. And they kind of just went game to game to game. There was no lull, no guy randomly talking in a monotone voice and snapping his fingers.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, it was really good for me though. I gave it a B, maybe a B plus, A minus.
Nice.
Moving on from that, we gotta wrap this up soon. We've been going for a while. Between PlayStation and Xbox, do you know the game Outriders? Are you familiar?
Not really.
So Outriders is a new like RPG kind of third-person cover shooter, similar mechanics to like Gears of War.
Okay.
A demo came out, and I played a little bit, very little bit. I watched a good amount of footage on it, and it really feels like a much faster Gears of War, where your characters have superpowers. Like there's 4 classes, and each class has like super abilities. The one I played as like launches fire across the map. It's pretty cool. And it really like it has a specific ability where it goes right in front of you, like a column of fire goes up from the ground in front of you for however many spaces. And it takes that Gears of War cover shooting and like trying to flank and gives a purpose to flanking because you want to get to your best positioning to use your superpowers. And also depending on how good you are with each character and how good your team is, it makes it so like if you're ever pinned down, you're not really pinned down because you're like a superpower or two away from busting out. It seemed fun. The little bit I played, it looks fun. All of what I watched. I bring it up because Digital Foundry brought up a comparison of the demo, and I know I don't normally like to compare performance and demos, but because the game is fairly close to release, I think that it's relatively indicative of what we're getting, and it seems like it's what we've been seeing lately. The Xbox Series X version is running at a higher resolution, but the PS5 version has a more stable frame rate, and we've been seeing that in a lot of games. So I don't know, is this like a thing we should get used to for the whole generation? Because you know me, I'm a tech guy, I'm a hardware guy, and I have both systems. The PS5 is great. The Series X is better in almost every way. It's got a better CPU, it's got a better GPU, it's got better offloading processors for different processes and whatnot.
Sure.
Its RAM is a little bit complicated. It's got the same amount of RAM, and like 60% of the RAM is much faster than the PS5's, and the other 40 is a little bit slower than the PS5's. But all in all, it has an advantage in every area. So seeing it perform better on PS5, seeing games perform better on PS5, while running at higher resolutions on the Xbox, which I have to say was also commonplace on the One X and PS4, or PS4 Pro. I don't know if that's like developers just not taking advantage or optimizing well for the Series X, or if maybe there's something in the development tools or actually something in the hardware itself that's making it so the PlayStation is easier to get that 60. When I look at the specs, I see the Series X should be able to hit the same frame rate with higher resolutions on every game. And you do see some games where the Series X shines dramatically, but as a whole, most games are performing better on the PlayStation. And I do think this generation is going to be a lot about performance, because we just had a generation where frame rates were low and often unstable. So regardless of, 1800p against 4K, you don't really notice the difference. But 60 frames locked against 60 frames variable down to like 52, you see that when you play. You notice that stutter. You talked about it last podcast. You're becoming more and more, perceptive of frame rate issues as you play more on your TV and see better running games. So
yeah,
it's just surprising to me to see more games performing better on PS5. I mean, bare minimum, to get the same performance on the PS5, just lower the resolution on the Series X. Like, developers out there, we want parity on performance. I don't really care about resolution. All right, if you can give me 60 FPS locked at 1800p instead of 4K, or 1600p instead of 1800, or 1440, or whatever you got to get get that locked 60, give me that. Lower the resolution all you want. Just don't make one of these systems perform better than the other, especially if it's a game that has crossplay, because that's a noticeable advantage. If I'm playing with you and my frame rate is faster than yours, you're going to have a hard time beating me if we're at anywhere near the same skill level.
Right.
But you don't really know about the game itself, so I guess that's what we'll leave it at. You should check it out, though. There is a demo on current systems as well, but from the Digital Foundry analysis, I would say it's not even worth playing on the base Xbox One. It looked like it ran terribly.
Gotcha.
So don't do that.
All right.
Moving on to Xbox. I don't actually have a lot for this. Matter of fact, I had to put a couple random third-party stuff in here. And we're at an hour and a half, so I'll breeze through this. The Bethesda purchase is finally official. We heard about this, 4, 5, 6 months ago, whatever it was. But we talked about it in a couple podcasts. Things like these don't happen instantly. You don't just buy a $7.5 billion game publisher and then it's yours. It has to be approved by multiple trade commissions, and I guess it just passed the European one, so it's done. It's done. Microsoft owns Bethesda. I'm looking forward to seeing what that means for exclusivity on these titles soon. I feel like there's been a lot of debate in the community. Are games going to become Xbox exclusive or timed Xbox exclusive? You know, are we going to see them multi-platform on everything? Are we going to see them just everywhere, but Microsoft gets better versions, better content, you know, day one access and Game Pass, which we already know is the case. I want to see this information soon. I feel like maybe they haven't said it because they hadn't finalized the deal. You couldn't really come out and say, hey, all Bethesda titles are Xbox exclusives from now on, and then have one of these trade commissions veto the purchase, and now Bethesda has to, like, save face and change up the narrative.
Right.
I've heard rumors of a possible event to celebrate the purchase soon, focused on Bethesda titles, so I'd like to see that. I'd definitely like to see some Starfield. It's still supposedly on track for 2021, so let's see what the hell is going on with that game. You know, I've heard it's Elder Scrolls in space, so let me check that out. Yeah. I
respect it.
Yeah. The Series S and X, I don't know if I talked to you about this. They're getting an upgraded browser, like a web browser, that's like Chromium. So it's much better. It's able to play stuff like Google Stadia, which is really interesting. It's available now to, like, if you're an Xbox insider and you've got your system in the like skip ahead program, you get the updates earlier depending on how far you are into the skip ahead program. And it's like the highest members are getting it right now, and they're reporting that it is buggy, but it's still a lot better than the current browser. And pretty much everything in the like the top skip ahead is buggy because you're getting it before everyone else. You're kind of the real beta testers. So it is cool to see another browser, especially I don't think the Switch doesn't have a browser, right?
No.
Like, someone found, like, a way to access it through another game or something.
It doesn't work, though. It doesn't work.
And you know what? I haven't looked on my PS5 recently, but it didn't have a browser. I don't think it does. So, you know, getting an even better browser than you already have when your competition does not have a browser, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
The Avengers game, I've talked about this before. I personally enjoyed it. I want to get back to it, but it was very grindy. I thought the campaign was really good, and then like the post game, the end game stuff, the stuff like in Destiny that keeps you coming back, the strikes and the raids and all that. It was really grindy and boring in the Avengers game. Really repetitive, really quick. I think there's only like 3 villains or maybe 4 villains, and only like 2 of them are actually like super villains. The others are like robots. But the Avengers is getting Hawkeye, so it gets its second DLC character, March 18th. And I know a lot of people were complaining about Hawkeye because they just got Kate Bishop, which is essentially girl Hawkeye. But it looks like this version of Hawkeye is more of the like ninja assassin Ronin version. So yes, he still has his bow, but he fights really well too. So he's not going to feel just like a boy version of Kate Bishop. And it's got more story content. It's got a cool take on the Hulk. And on the same day that comes out, the next-gen version of the game launches. It's, again, a free upgrade to anyone that already has it. And it's got all the stuff you expect. You know, better resolution, better frame rate. Textures are significantly better, they said. Load times are significantly better. One thing that's interesting is early on they said it would have ray tracing. That vanished in the recent announcement. Now, they haven't mentioned it for any system, so like I don't know if they just decided it wasn't worth it, if it was something they don't feel the systems can do, which I just don't think is true. When you look at the power of these systems, they definitely could. Maybe not as good as a high-end computer, but they could have done it. But more interesting, as I said, it was grindy. It was very grindy. So they announced a complete overhaul to the XP/progression system, and fans are not that happy. So, you know, they came out and they said that one of the complaints they got, I want to know who made these complaints, but one of the complaints they got about the Avengers game was that it was too easy to level up your characters. So their overhaul essentially makes the grind grindier. They said it takes between 3 and 5 hours longer to maximize your character's level than it used to. They kind of made it more like a traditional RPG. Essentially, they said that in the previous build, or I should say the current build, because the new one's not live for 9 days. Instead of having an XP curve, there's an XP line. So essentially, like each level, it's just increasing at the same rate. So it never actually gets progressively harder or longer to level up. And I will say that I did level up my characters pretty quick. They're all almost max level, and I stopped playing like a month after it came out, so that's not great. But now they said the new system, it's going to be like the early levels go quicker, you know, like the first 10, 15, 20 levels. And then the later levels are going to take significantly longer in some cases, estimating between 2 and 4 missions per level, where I pretty much went up at least 1 level every single mission in the current build. And they're making it so harder enemies give more experience, so it like incentivizes fighting the harder guys instead of avoiding them. Essentially, it's turning it into a traditional RPG, man. Like, it makes sense. My problem is, when that's not what you delivered in the first place, you are clearly like going after the people that are still enjoying your game, saying like, hey, screw you, you're not going to be able to level up the way you liked. They even actually in their press release, they tell people like, if you're looking to upgrade your characters quickly, you should get on before March 18th, so you can still utilize the previous leveling system. Not really sold on that. I am looking forward to checking it out. It's actually on sale on Amazon for like $25. So if you don't have it, maybe it's worth giving it a shot. I have it on PlayStation because I'm still waiting on Spider-Man. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Avengers. I only got 2 more things. You know Remedy, the people that did Control, Alan Wake, Quantum Break, Control, and the hell was that game back when I was a kid? Like Indigo Prophecy, I think it was.
I know Control.
Yeah, so they announced that their next 2 games take place in the shared universe. Everyone wants to jump on the shared universe thing.
They sure do.
Yeah, I like the idea. I like the idea of playing games that aren't like direct sequels or prequels, but are connected some way. That's pretty cool to me, and I'd like to see how Remedy does it, because they've had really interesting stories. I never finished Quantum Break or Control, but Alan Wake is one of my favorite 360 games. If you haven't gotten a chance to play it, man, get it on Steam, get it on your Xbox, whatever. Just play it, enjoy it. It's great. Bless you.
Thanks, buddy.
And last for me, the Division 2 little thing, they said that it will receive a brand new game mode no sooner than late 2021. They didn't give any other details, just we're going to get a new game mode. I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're getting like Team Deathmatch or what, but they are going to continue to support the game, and I love hearing that.
Me too.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed the game. I told you I recently went back to it. I've only played a little bit. I'm waiting to get like my whole crew together to play. But yeah, it's a dope game. You remember playing with us back when it was new.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I recommend it to anyone that's a fan of tactical shooters or squad-based games.
Very fun.
Yeah, and you know, anytime they're continuing to support something, that's great. For me, that's it, man. Do you have anything else to add?
I mean, just for anybody who's watching, tune in for next week, and we'll be sure to have some Apex Legends crossplay footage for you guys, because in a couple hours I will be downloading that on my Switch.
Oh yeah. Let's make sure that we don't go too crazy yelling at the other team. Not that anyone would hear us. We'll just mute it on the podcast. So
yeah, you
guys can't hear how vicious we are to people.
Not at all.
No.
Innocent as could be.
Yeah.
Yo, wait. What was that thing when I was like, just peek your head out a little bit. Just peek your... Or no, don't panic. Don't panic.
Panic! Yeah.
Panic!
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I just scream over the mic, panic!
I was like, don't panic, dude. Don't panic. Brr, 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 panic! Panic!
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, yo, I'm happy to be back on another episode of the podcast with you. Anyone that listened, I know we went pretty long today. Try to keep it a little shorter next time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Pay attention to our Twitters. They're on the screen. We are doing some giveaways. I have one going right now. And it's actually, you got a chance for a PlayStation gift card, Xbox gift card, and Switch gift card. So look to the @RedCloudGamer or @TheGreenSween on Twitter for how to enter and win.
Do it.
All right, that's it from me. Red Cloud Gamer and the Green Sween signing off.
Good night, buddy.